It's Valentine's Day, and I read a statistic the other day that actually kind of made me want to vomit a little bit. Do you know that annually, like last year on Valentine's Day, $23.5 billion was spent. $23.5 billion. And it was even more in 2020. It was over $25 billion. That is a lot of money. That's actually kind of a revolting amount of money. Valentine's Day is completely different for me. So I have been, was having a little meeting with my team this morning, and they're talking about what people really seem to enjoy from my social media. And apparently you guys like it when you learn a little bit about behind the scenes or what goes on at home. So I thought I would tell you a couple of things. Number one is that you will not often see my children on here because even though I love to share things with you, they're not all able to give consent to that or understand what that means because of their age. And so we choose not to share them on social media. So as much as I talk about how amazing they are, how they're central to my life, I'm not really going to be showing them on here, except for my daughter who is, well old enough to consent and occasionally graces me with her presence on the screen, which I love because I'm so proud of all of my children, but I do often talk about them. She was born in 2005, sorry Sass, giving away your age. And at that moment, hi Glinda, my life changed forever, as it does for many women when they have their first child, or more, whenever they have any children or any significant moment like that. So this was a huge moment in our lives. And one of the reasons why was I had been unwell for a long period of time. I first was diagnosed with specific gut issues with an autoimmune disease. So I was first diagnosed with, actually I might as well just tell you. They called it non-specific proctitis, right? And the gastroenterologist, he was just amazing. He empowered me with the knowledge that nothing I did would make it get any better. It would just progress and I would get sicker and sicker until I probably would have to have my bowel removed. Wow, those words were pretty powerful because I was about 21 or 22 when that started. I also was told that I had polycystic ovarian syndrome. Sorry, not the syndrome, but I had my ovaries were full of cysts. If you look at it in a holistic way, my body was crying out for help. I was emotionally not in a great place, and my body was, either whether it's the gut is the chicken or the egg kind of situation, but basically I was not happy and my body was showing it, or my body was not happy and I was showing it mentally. But after I stole my brother's friend, who's now my husband, Ben, sorry, Kristen, and then we had our beautiful daughter, I just had this progression of illness where it went from just occasionally being unwell to the point where most days I could not get out of bed, and that I was sometimes going to the bathroom more than 20 times a night. It is a very unsexy illness because you lose control of your bowels. And so when I fell pregnant with our daughter, we were super thrilled and excited. But it was kind of scary as well because I was quite sick at the time. So we were lucky enough that I had a really great experience during the pregnancy, and actually all of my pregnancies I've gone into remission. My body likes having babies, but universe, I've had enough, thank you. Just putting it out there. But when Sassy was a bit older, I really was feeling like I wasn't the parent that I wanted to be because I just couldn't even take her to the park. I would have to not eat all morning so that I could take her there, and then when we would come home I'd be absolutely exhausted, and I would struggle just to even be in the park with her for an hour or so. So at that point in time, when the surgeon said to me that I had no quality of life, I was furious. I was absolutely indignant. What do you mean I have no quality of life? And it's not really until years later that I realized what he was talking about, because for me it had become so normal to become so incapacitated by this bowel disease that not being able to often leaving the trolley in the supermarket, or having a stack of towels in the car on the way home, knowing where every single public bathroom was. That was what my life had come to, and I hadn't really felt that happening. I wasn't able to finish the university courses that I was enrolled in. It really, everything had diminished so much, and I did not see that happening because it just was gradual. And so it was a bit like that expression of when you put the frog in the saucepan, you heat it up, or whatever it is. I can't remember the expression. I always get expressions wrong. Anyway, in 2007, I had failed all sorts of treatment. And so not only was I using the fully medical treatment of all of the drugs under the sun, none of them worked, even with my gastroenterologist, who his family was from Switzerland. So he was this is different to the one who told me I'd only get sicker. He was supportive of me. I was importing pig whipworms from Switzerland that I would consume in order to try and reboot my immune system. Around that time, there was a Professor Brody, who was doing gut fecal transplants. I even looked at my brother for a sec and thought, could I do that? But it wasn't really appropriate for me. And then I was booked in. There was no other choice but to be booked in for this surgery. So I had what they call a total colectomy. So I had all of my large intestine and my rectum removed. And so then I had a colostomy bag for a period of about 6 or 7 months. And what they do is they use the small intestine, and it performs the job of both the large and the small and the large intestine, and also then creates a new pouch internally. And so I now go to the bathroom like regular people. However, I had that bag for 6 months while all of that surgery healed. And it was at that point in time that I just was at this real inroads of, is this what my life is going to be like? And also, what happens if this happens to my children or my daughter? Because it is linked with autoimmune disease, is rife in my family, and it is linked with your genes. And I was determined that this was not going to happen, and that I wanted to be there to, I joke about torturing my children until I'm like really old, in my mid hundreds. And I enjoy taunting them about that, but I just was not going to give up. And so I was able to, not only had I gone down that route of the super weird big whipworms and all of the things, but I had then moved into seeing naturopaths. It was very hard to access information at that time. It was dial-up ASDL internet. People were scared of losing their jobs if they spoke openly about some of the things that were not, medically recognized. They would be, sort of in trouble for doing that. And I saw a multitude of naturopaths before I discovered the GAPS diet, and it was really the thing that was transformative for me. And I will forever sing its praises, and whenever I have a period of time where I don't feel super well, I go back to that. So that was one of the huge levers, I guess, that really transitioned me from having the power in the hands of someone else who told me I would essentially just get worse and worse and worse until I lived a miserable death when I was 20 something, to thinking I have the power to make decisions, make choices, and decide what way my life is going to go. And so that's a long time ago. I'm nearly 50. So it is a long time ago, but how old was I? I was like 30 when I had the surgery. And so I'm 49 this year. And I have pretty much been in remission for all of that time. There's been some very short periods where I have not been unwell, usually just after I stopped breastfeeding the other children. But I really managed to control or manage my autoimmune disease completely by my lifestyle choices. And so what happened over that period of time was not just that I healed my gut, but my mental health changed. And also, when one of my kids was born, they were really sensitive to everything, and still is. They still are. Can't get my English right. And we deep dived into, Alex Stewart's works about having a low tox home, and doing that actually cured his skin condition. And in the process, it improved my skin dramatically. And so I think I put a little snapshot you'll see in the cover photo. I looked really, really unwell. I had very swollen face from all of the steroids and things that I was on. And gradually things changed, and now I would consider myself to be pretty robust and vibrant and healthy. And it is rare, and I am known for overdoing it in terms of like taking on too much, but it's pretty rare that I will go down like a ton of bricks. So I guess I wanted to share with you a little bit about that journey, about why I feel so passionately about helping people get all that junk out of their home and life. Because for me, it was a multi-pronged approach. It wasn't just looking after my physical health, it was also my energetic health. The fact that I felt like I was letting down my children and my family and not able to do things was really very soul destroying. It's part of the reason I think that I get so enthusiastic about things now, because I've got like this whole decade of where I was so unwell to make up for. There was a point in time where I was in hospital more than I was out of hospital, because I had to stay for long periods of time on intravenous medications and all the rest of it. With the surgery, it wasn't just, one and done. I ended up put back in hospital a week or so later. I had a severe infection afterwards. I ended up on the cardiac ward with people that were having heart attacks. It was terrible. And this was kind of, between my mid-20s and my early 30s, before things really changed and smoothed out. So I really just I choose not to ascribe to this concept that as we get older, things just start to fall apart and you feel like rubbish and all the rest of it. What I see is your body is talking to you every single way. And whether it is giving you a message in the way that you feel, in something that is coming out on your skin, if you've got a stomach ache, if you, any symptom that you're having, is your body trying to give you a message. And so I really encourage you, and what I'm really passionate about is helping you decipher what those messages are. I've studied things from, yoga to energetic, vibrational and sound healing to I'm studying aromatherapy and, what else? I mean, from personal training, Paul Chek's works, functional nutrition, all of the things, just really trying to understand how I could make the best out of, I guess, I don't know how to explain it, but I guess I came out not that healthy at that point in time. And I've been really trying to align everything so that I have my best health going forward. And I sure do feel like that. And I think that is achievable for pretty much everyone if you are committed to making some choices. If you want to sit around and drink your Coca-Cola and sit in, go to an office and not walk and never get out in daylight and eat your crappy food and all your seed oils and do all the things, that is your choice. But if you can choose better, and I'm not here to, if that's what you want to choose, do it. But if you want to be here and be vibrant and be energetic and be here for your family and to watch everyone grow up and grow old, the choice is with you. And so just wanted to share a little bit about Valentine's Day for my family, is the remembering of me spending, I think it was about 8 hours that my husband was waiting for me. I was on an operating table and they literally cut me from just below my rib cage right down to my pubic bone and had all of my guts out on the table. So Valentine's Day is not like the romantic, corny, whatever. Every day should be Valentine's Day. We should love ourselves first, and the kindest, most loving thing that you can do for yourself today, and choose what that is. And so for me, I remember the whole time how unwell I was, and that just encourages me to choose better and to do better and to learn more so that I can put things into place so that things continue to get better and don't go downhill. So happy Valentine's Day to you, to whatever it means to you. But remember that the longest relationship you have is you and yourself. And I hope that you are honoring yourself today in some way. I know that there are some super cool astrological conditions related to romance tonight. It's either going to be super awesome or super argumentative. But some of you will be enjoying that, some of you not so much. But just remember that your relationship with you is really important, and if you want to be vibrant and well, you just get to make the choices. It is in your hands to make those choices. So lots of love to all of you. Happy Valentine's Day. Have a great day. It is super hot outside here today, but I look forward to seeing you on Friday. We'll be on the road. So look out for that. Not exactly sure. I'll try and be, close to 1:30, but we'll be on our road to Canberra. And just not exactly sure what I'll share with you. You can ask me questions. I'd love to answer your questions. But also letting you know that Gua Sha glow up, I am loading it up on the platform, but it takes me a little while to learn how to do those things. So it's coming. And then also too, I'm just really excited to be putting together all of the bits and pieces to live this vibrant lifestyle, and how you can have this glowing skin, because it comes from the inside, right? Everything comes from the inside. So see you all soon. Happy Valentine's Day. Bye.